everyone. Today I'm just going to chat with you because I have had some experiences that I think you might enjoy, and I need to try and put my thoughts that always surface about my near death experience into terms that relate to my everyday life, things that have happened to me, and I'm going to tell a few stories about that. Oneness is one of those concepts that, after listening to Dr. Eric and Julian talk about that last week on their life community share, it's always so beautiful for me because I think in the beginning, when I came back from my near-death experience, instead of intellectually understanding oneness, I had a visual picture of oneness. And for all of you to know, it was a very visual picture of my whole life at that point in time. And I not only could see the connections, but they were connections from every part of my life, from the simplest, smallest detail to the most significant people there. And that could include not only people, but animals and activities and places and things that I experienced. But that's actually not what I want to talk about today, because what I really want to do is share when I came back and how I began to realize that oneness was living inside of me, and that we are all not only one, but we're part of the same whole. I love the graphic that Dr. Eric put out that talks about the quantum entanglement, that shows how the reconnective feeling frequencies help us flow into that place. And tucked in our body are all of these different experiences. Tucked into our mind are all these experiences. But when we make it flow in our life and pull our belief about oneness into it, it begins to change. So today, I wanted to share about something that happened to me quite a few years ago. And it happened to me in the country of Kenya. I was taking students, they were high school students at the time, into Kenya for environmental workshops and understanding the issues. And one of our experiences was going into a Maasai village where we were interacting with the people in the Maasai village. And as you can see, for me today, I've not only worn a few things from my experience, I'm bringing into you a person who became such a special gift to my life. And yet at the time, it was like I had my blinders on a little bit until I came back. I want to show you the picture. This is her and I know you will say, wow, very different. Short hair, not gray. But it was a beautiful thing that happened to me. And while I was interacting with this community of people, women, men, and we were going in and out of their homes, we were being treated to understanding their culture. But this particular person came up to me after we began to intermingle. And of course, none of us understood their language, and they were not understanding ours, and we were dressed so differently. But what happened was, she kept coming by me and saying, sister, sister, sister. Now, I did not know nor understand what she meant by that, because I was not understanding her language. And she kept saying, kept gluing herself to my side. And it wasn't until I stopped and really looked in her eyes that I thought, wow, this is so beautiful. And my takeaway from that experience for me while the students and the adults around me said, Terry, isn't that kind of an awkward thing? She kept just gluing herself to you. And I said, no, it's beautiful. But that was before I could express what it really meant. And that was, yes, probably in another lifetime. We spent time with each other. And I couldn't voice it at the time. I was vulnerable to what everybody else thought about what I thought. Now, I would have had a very different response. I would have said, oh my, help me understand. So, I just wanted to share that short story because I think it's a demonstration of where we can put our blinders on with so many events in our daily life. And yet, here we are. We can experience the multidimensional oneness if we open our eyes and let ourselves enjoy that peace and understanding that comes along with it. Thanks. See you again.